You see, one thing when me I go say to uno, when it comes to public funding, there is always going to be scrutiny, especially in cases where the request for funds is an ongoing affair. A one-off help, you may be able to just get away with that. But once it's a huge amount and once it is continuous, people are going to question it, they are going to interrogate it, and many are going to doubt its integrity. Hey users and subscribers, welcome back to my channel. We're going to have a chat about some of the things that I've been noticing trending on social media recently, okay? Now, this is not the same as our Friday chit chat, which I will commit to. Every Friday we're going to come together, we're going to chat on a live about the thing that we see and the thing that we hear. But this time I needed to come out in order to talk to you about the situation with this little girl, Kaylan Dowdy, and her mother, Venetia Buckley. Yes. So, for those of you who are unaware of what happened where Kaylan is concerned, this is another child that we have advocated for justice for some time. In around 2020, Kaylan's situation came to the surface, where she was attacked as a teenager in a party by a gang of 5 women. Yes. Now, justice has failed Kaylan. And to date, there has been no convictions around what happened to this little girl. She was beaten to the point of death's door. And as a result, she has got a life-altering damage done to her body. There was a time when Kaylan was given a 1% chance to survive. This really pulled at the heartstrings of the Jamaican people, both at home and across the diaspora, and of course internationally as well. Kaylan has received a lot of support from various platform holders, including Lava and of course Auntie Donna. Yes, so Auntie Donna had raised around $300,000 Jamaican dollars towards Kaylan's medical expenses. Lava also contributed financially towards Kaylan's pacemaker. Now, despite the fact that all of this has happened, Kaylan continues to struggle with ongoing medical complications. She is carrying something in her throat that allows her to breathe. This is what it's called, guys. Me terrible at medical pronunciations. Can you guys pronounce this for me? Well, she's carrying one of those in her throat, and that helps her to breathe independently. Now, as a result of it being there, Kaylan cannot use her voice. So currently, the mother has taken to TikTok in order for her to raise funds to do yet another surgery, which cannot be done in the island of Jamaica. Apparently, the complications, the challenges that are facing Kaylan's case makes the surgery a very huge risk for a country with limited resources. Therefore, the surgery has to take place outside of the island. It needs to take place abroad. So right now, Kaylan's mother is trying to raise that money, and they are taking to TikTok to use that as a platform in order to do so. Now, as a result, there has been huge controversy around the whole money thing. You see, one thing when me I go say to uno, when it comes to public funding, there is always going to be scrutiny, especially in cases where the request for funds is an ongoing affair. A one-off help, you may be able to just get away with that. But once it's a huge amount and once it is continuous, people are going to question it, they are going to interrogate it, and many are going to doubt its integrity. This is normal. And I want you to understand where I am coming from. It's not a matter of haters wanting to tear down Kaylan, don't want Kaylan to get help, can't stand the mother and all these kind of things. Human beings are wired not to trust each other because we have seen too many cases of betrayal and too many cases of misuse of kindness. Nobody is above the scrutiny of public opinion. People who come out here and ask for community funds through social action will be at the mercy of the public voice. Let me tell you what I know so far. I'm going to share with you a bit of a background as to where it all started and why people are saying that Kaylan's mother is a scammer. You see, I do not like misinformation. And of course, we are all not perfect as bloggers. Sometimes we come out here, we say some things and we don't necessarily verify it, and we have to come back and retract it. You understand? Which is why HTK prides herself in doing as much research as I possibly can to present to you factual information. Not to say that I am perfect. If I do get it wrong, please let me know in the comments and I'll be certain to retract. Now, when Kaylan's mother and Kaylan took to TikTok in order to raise awareness around their issues for the next surgery, of course, one of the loudest voices saying that, listen, a scamming agwan and money thief and bear things was Shibata. A quick reminder here.
And that will never realize the brightest set of truth sound harsh. Where is the $62 million? You buy van, you buy your man bike, and that never satisfy Karina with him, so you go and get him a car. While your daughter try wake up. And now your daughter risen like Lazarus, and you send up and the app to come big. Go over lava, go ask lava.
So he's talking about 62 million Jamaican dollars that he's claiming that Venetia Buckley collected on behalf of Kaylan towards her medical expenses. There is also talk about the fact that she owes money to the University of the West Indies Hospital, and that amounts to just over 40 million Jamaican dollars. People are questioning, where is the money that you were given before towards Kaylan's expenses? How is it that you owe the University of the West Indies Hospital so much money despite the fact that you raised $62 million? Lady, you're a thief, you're a scammer. And you take the people their money and you go do your body, you go buy a car, you go do the things them, and you're not paying the child's bills. You are capitalizing off of your child's demise. That is what the public opinion is by quite a few people who simply do not trust the process. Listen, sometimes it's about laying out facts in a calm, sensible, and systematic way to make it clear to people so they can understand what is going on. So where did this $62 million come from? I'm going to show you. In this article, which is dated in 2021 when Kaylan was 18 years old, the Star published stating that Kaylan's mother was in need of money, financial help, for her medical care. At the time, Kaylan's mother was advocating for a total of 62 million Jamaican dollars in order to transfer her daughter to the United States of America, where she was to get further treatment. This is where the $62 million came from. It was the quote that was provided by Kaylan's mother, Venetia Buckley, about the total cost that would be necessary in order for Kaylan to do her next set of surgery. It was the cost of the entire thing that was a total of 62 million Jamaican dollars or 425,000 US dollars. So people are, of course, going to take this and go, but she had a GoFundMe and the GoFundMe said she blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, fine. See the GoFundMe, yes, so, okay? The GoFundMe, which it operated in 2 rounds. The first round was when she initially came out. The second round was after she went on, what that woman name? A Sims Kana, a Sue Kana. What's she name again? People wanna remind me, do. My head not good. The lady that comes out and talks about people's issues and stuff. And she used to go immaculate, come in go to school with her. That one day. So they went on that program, and after that they restarted the actual GoFundMe. And they didn't really generate that much traction even after going on this program. So the total that was raised on the GoFundMe is on my screen. Yeah, let me come off of the screen a little bit. Come, I want to focus on this, right? Okay. So here is the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe itself is about 4 years old, And as you can see here, the total was 450K, and that is in sterling pounds, right? Of which 17,175 pounds has been raised, okay? So we're talking about 20,000 US dollars, okay? Now that is the total amount so far. And as you can see at the top here, it says the donations are paused. Now, what does that mean? It means this fundraiser is currently not accepting donations, okay? All right. Now, it was organized by somebody by the name of Angela May Kelly on behalf of Venetia Buckley. So far, we can say that she has not raised the 425,000 US dollars, which was necessary for a facility in the United States of America to continue with the care and the medical procedure for Kaylan. No, people are saying $62 million was given to this lady. As you can see here, all we can account for is 17,175 pounds, the total of which in Jamaican dollars to date is a mere 3,641,938 Jamaican dollars. So it is 3 million, nothing near the 62 million that people are talking about. In addition, Jamaican National Money UK offered a 50% discount on money transfer fees to persons who were donating to Kaylan Dowdy. And this happened in about December 2020. They also gave a contribution of £2,600 from a virtual event, and with the assistance of Jamaica National Money, was able to donate £3,000 in total. So Loyal Squad raised 2,600, then them top it up with an extra £400, it get to £3,000. So far we're talking about the 3 million and odd in Jamaican dollars plus 3,000 pounds, which is a total of 636,146 Jamaican dollars and some cents. So not even a million for the 3,000 pounds. As a part of the drive for the 62 million Jamaican dollars, she even took to the Jamaica Star, where she presented a National Commercial Bank at the Washington Boulevard branch account details and a Jamaica National Bank in Halfway Tree for donations. Those we cannot necessarily account for because the amounts that may have been contributed there has not been made public, okay? Now, this is where we're at with what we know about donations that were given towards her. And this does not include the 300,000 Jamaican dollars that was raised by Auntie Donna. So let's say we add that 300,000 to the 600,000. Does not include whatever may have been given to the actual banks that were listed in the article. We cannot necessarily account for those monies. But either way you take it, people, it is nowhere near the $62 million from what I can see visibly. I cannot see $62 million being achieved transparently or accounted for transparently through the donations that Miss Buckley actually garnered on social media and via the press. So people, I do not know where it has come from that Venetia Buckley got 62 million from. I don't know, okay? Anyway, I want you to take a listen to this clip of what Venetia had to say about the situation. And you can see it kind of ties into the evidence that I have found across the internet so far. Take a listen.
I'm not denying that she need the help, you know. That's not the problem, you know.
Yeah.
The problem is this the smarty we put the 60, how much, 62 or 63? The $60 million upon the table, 63, 62, me no know. Because me never get it, me never see it.
Yeah.
That is the problem. Because, and to be honest, if somebody get that amount of money there for true, they're not supposed to look no help, not true?
Yeah, if you did get the type of money, they would not come and ask.
And even if it done, let's say it done, I still enough.
Yeah.
Why but all know, the problem with me I find right now is all know nobody can show where it come from. Cause it look like say the bird where you know remember they sitting where deliver baby in a cartoon?
Yeah.
You remember that bird in that cartoon where can't baby in her mouth fly?
So I say, Mama, at the end of the day, nobody listen to them, man. You know where you know you push it for your daughter, and you have a beautiful daughter, man. I tell you that, believe me, man. And me know say, whatever you want, God a go come through, man. No matter where the enemy when you want, God a go pull through for you. She go get the help, man. I TikTok this, all type of help they for you, man. Just not tell out the story, man.
Me have the receipts, so them can stay there. The nightmare starts from day one, night. From day one, night. The nightmare starts and one in it all. No! One in it. I don't call me idiot, you don't call me fool, you don't say me a coward, you don't threaten me, you don't do everything, you don't put out hit on my head, you don't do everything for break me. I don't see me not break, I don't decide so you don't not stop. I got you and the embarrassment when I get. When people are going to ask me for $40 million, when me no incur. When my picnic, I know sick, she take sick. If she didn't take sick and me owe that the money, nobody wouldn't even know about it when me take me time and do what me I do. She never sick. Nothing no do her. I want to let them go. And then I pressure me. The only person we are trying. The only person that is trying. I mean, the only one I try. And I mean, I'll make it look like semi shit. I'll make it look like I'm here the junker in the situation. Enough is enough. I am so sick and tired of all this situation. Me nah go tell no lie. My cup full. I go past somebody post a clip after what Luke do. And then cut out the part when I say the girl them for pay. And then post it and everybody have done me. Oh, government, me I say government. At which point me say government for pay something? Of course me not like them assist. Nobody not owe me nothing. Nobody not owe me nothing. Una get pa me nerve. Una get pa me nerve. Una de pa me last nerve. But the Bible say, there are more for me than those against me. And I just feel like me I go talk my mind tonight, cause my cup full. I see some comment a while ago rub me the wrong way. When I see people talk about my picnic some way, it a rub me, Venetia, the wrong way. Go talk about the people and we thief how much thousands of US dollars from Kaylan when all of this starts. And that's enough to talk about. The people and we say them a collect money and thief how much thousands of dollars from my picnic. We could have did help to do a whole heap of things for her. See, she's still there. And the doctor them, yes, so can't help her right now, because them say them can't manage the surgery, basically, Them not going to do it because it's a failure. You know how that could have did help her? I realize that in other country, the victim is always victimized. The victim is always victimized. No matter how gruesome the crime, wanna find something to blame the victim. I'm tired. I am so tired. Wanna realize that I still have this to deal with. Me still have a surgery when me I look on the same $40 million when me owe you with. A same $40 million me have to go find. If you take out this a check out of my picnic neck. When I realize that my picnic have a machine in her heart right now. When me have to go find, me see when I have to go find money when it to come out to take it out. Me see when I have to go find the money to take it out. Every medication, everything, you know how much time for the week my picnic a doctor? You don't know how much time? You don't know how much things she got through consistently. When me have to find it, and basically me not even at work. From 2020 December, a $13,000 going in the GoFundMe. People are saying me buy Benz. People are saying billions of dollars in a GoFundMe. It was there for everybody to see. It was transparent. Everybody did a look on it. Me never hide it because me can't hide GoFundMe. It was there for everybody to see. The GoFundMe, we reset the GoFundMe when we are going to pass him soul session. I'm going to look in there now. I must see $300, $200 in there. Which money? The biggest money me get a lava, give me. When she had the last 2 cardiac arrest and the pacemaker for go in her heart, a lava pay feet. God bless everybody we donate. Everybody on every platform we donate. Uno say Dana give me $1 million, Dana give me this. Now $300,000 me did get from Dana. In a 1 week, me spent $200,000 in a medication when she had sepsis. 1 week. Me not talk about the rest of the week, them in the rest of the month, you know. 1 week. Where me to get it from? Where must I get it?
Wow. So obviously the last video was an old video, but I needed to tie the two things together. Her current display on TikTok now and her anger that's directed towards people who are spreading these rumors, they are justified. Now, I know you guys are going to be saying, well, she gone to America, she left the picnic behind, and so on and so forth. Why do we migrate? We migrate for a better life. We migrate so that we can make ends meet. We migrate for make money. I do not know of the lady's migration situation. I have heard you guys making comments talking about the fact that she's no longer legal. That's really not my business. I don't know anything about that. And I've seen no evidence of that information. However, there are some critical questions that need to be asked. And I think it is important that a fair picture is actually presented. Now, I'm sure you have all seen this video here, which I'm going to insert about her saying she's not paying the money or the hospital need to go cover it themselves because they neglected her child. Take a quick listen and then I'll give you my views on this.
You will? If you're not chatting with me over a bill. I not talk them something here, but me can tell you this. Kaylan went into cardiac arrest because of septic shock. And Kaylan got septic shock because they did not change the catheter. She got a UTI. A urinary tract infection caused Kaylan to get the last 2 cardiac arrests. And people, wanna see how me's a very humble person. And me hold it long because she up there and she in a them care, and you know, me just no want nobody to deal with her no way. That is always my worry. Me no want nobody to angle me picnic, me no want nobody to deal with me picnic no way. Me no want nobody, you understand? And Kaylan ended up that is the first time Kaylan gets sepsis. UTI. A urinary tract infection because, and you know what the worst thing, 2 days before that, I asked the nurse when I go up there if them change the catheter, because me keep a check on it. And them tell me say them change the catheter was not changed. She had a urinary tract infection that they were not treating because of an unchanged catheter. And Kaylan ended up spending an extra year in a ICU because of sepsis. She ended up, you hear me say? She ended up spending the extra year where she in there. You calculate how much. 75,000. Me not talk about the medication, talk about the bed. 1 year. How much you say the 1 year for the bed? And of course, I was gonna, you know why I never file a lawsuit? Because she's still in the hospital. That is the reason why. She was still in their care. That you saw, all right. So you see that $41 million there, I feed them bill.
So, as you can see, she is claiming that the hospital neglected her daughter. They did not change certain things, the catheter, whatever. Well, as you can see, she's saying that they did not. Well, as you can see, they're making it clear that. So, As you can see, she is claiming that the hospital neglected her daughter. They did not change certain things, the catheter, whatever. Well, as you can see,
somebody say 41, somebody say 21. Right now, the bill they are $45 million. So no make up on no mind how much. Somebody calculate it. 75,000 a day. 365 days times $75,000. $41 for the, yeah, but me stand the responsibility me we stand the responsibility for the 6 months. But me I talk about when she get the sepsis and going at the last 2 cardiac, the septic shock.
25,000.
All right. So you see the extra year that we're Kaylan in the ICU is negligence. Cause it. 1 year extra because of sepsis. She had 7 episodes back to back. Because of sepsis. The first time she had sepsis, it was caused by a blood infection. The blood cause of a UTI cause it. A urinary tract infection cause Kaylan forget sepsis. So, that's why when everybody nyam up themselves, me not look, me not pay no mind because me know what me know. Me know what me know. So, when everybody a bash and a galang, you notice me not look. Me know what is, me know what me know. Me not make no problem with them. Me not make no problem with them. Me try to just live because me just grateful say my child is still here. That is all me do. You understand? Me just grateful she's here. So me no look for nobody, me no get no liar, me no sue nobody, me no nothing at all. Me just stay focused because guess what? Again, when our lungs get damaged, when me tell the ENT say, change the tracheostomy tube. Change the tracheostomy tube. Change it, you know what I say? At the right tube she have in. And you know what happened? She start vomit up blood. She start vomit up blood. She start vomit up pure blood. She have vomit. Every vomit she vomit up blood. Blood, red, rich blood like you just chop somebody. Blood. And you know what cause it? The trach, what she have in her neck, she had in a size 7.5 trach. Kaylan is a size 6 trach. We never knew that at the time. But they had in a 7.5 in her. It was too long. So what happened? It gets stuck in a one side of the bronchi. The lungs have 2 bronchi. No so, Kaylan? 2 sides. You have right lung and you have left lung. No so? It got stuck in one lung. So one lung was not getting any oxygen at all. So one lung was dying, was collapsing. And I want to tell you how we find out when she cough up the blood and the ENT specialist them come. When me talk to them, the way we are say the trach every minute she have problem with the trach, and we are say change the trach. I spoke to them, you know, and I said, tell me what size to get. I will go and change it. Them said no, it don't need to change. They said they don't need to change it. Me say me will get the trach. They said they don't need to change it. And you know what the worst part? The trach what Kaylan need is not in Jamaica. No hospital supplies place no sell trach. Because people at Jamaica no survive if we wear trach. Really. Mostly. And let me tell you something. When the specialists them come, the senior specialists, look, they do a laryngoscopy, what you call a laryngoscopy, where they put the camera down through the tube to see where it goes. When the senior look, him not see nothing. But me, even when you look on her, you can see the rise and fall her chest. One side rise more than one. So me know something wrong. And when I put my head on her chest, me can't hear the lung. Me can't hear one of the lungs I breathe. One, me not hear me. I tell him, say, no man, something not right still. Me can't hold it. Me have to cry. Hush, eat boss.
Now, this is where I do not agree with Miss Buckley, okay? First of all, there are policies and procedures when it comes to a dispute with the hospital. It is important that that 41 million or however millions that is an outstanding bill with the University of the West Indies Hospital, that an arrangement is put in place for either accountability to be taken by the university or by yourself, Miss Buckley. You cannot just walk away from a bill and migrate or fly out and go live in America and leave it sitting there. The cost has to be accounted for somewhere. If it is that the hospital has done something that is considered negligent, you need to ensure that the correct line of communication is pursued. You need to either file a lawsuit after making a written complaint to try to resolve the matter. You needed to have followed through with these processes, because the way it looked like, say, you just run away and left the bill, which does not speak well for your character, and it does not make sense that you just leave it hanging in the air over your head. If you are out here seeking public funds to assist your daughter, people need to look at you as a trustworthy individual. I understand that you didn't want to raise it while Kaylan was in the care of the hospital, because at the end of the day, you know, people might have treated her bad. I get that. But there really is no excuse for that bill to still be outstanding without some kind of line being drawn underneath it. It's important that as a woman who is now an ordained minister, that you do the right thing and that you file an official complaint against the hospital so that somebody can take account of that bill. You mentioned that the catheter wasn't changed when they claimed that it was, and that she got a UTI. I am not a doctor. As far as I've read, catheters don't get changed for 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes even longer. And that it's the bag that is the more important thing, that they keep emptying that. But like I said, I am no medical doctor. As to whether or not that led to the sepsis, I don't know if the two dots connect. Because Kaylan's situation is such that, you know, sepsis is something that can happen where she's concerned because of the complications of her case. The university hospital clearly did their job because your daughter is still alive today. And it isn't fair that all of that medical work that has gone into your child for that 1 year extra, as you mentioned, that should go without pay. I did hear conversations around the amount of money that you claim is for the bed on its own, but I'm imagining that there are even further costs, and not just for the bed for the hospital, because I think that only accounts for half of that amount of the 40 odd million. So it is possible that at the end of the day, there are still expenses that were incurred, that it should have been agreed prior to them just doing things, that this is what the cost is going to be. I can't imagine the hospital just piling on costs without you being aware of the fact that there are going to be additional costs for this 1 year that Kaylan was in the hospital bed. I can't imagine that they're just doing procedures, giving her medication, all of those kind of things without your awareness of the financial implications. Somebody must have said something to you, or you, no doubt, would have pursued a line of inquiry to say, well, how much is this going to cost? And you don't want it to look as though you just said, okay, go ahead, I'm raising money, go ahead. Knowing that you had no intention of paying this in the first place, and that you had your long-term goal of leaving the country, where you cannot be held accountable for the outstanding debt. This is how it looks. Like I said, I am not an insider. We are just looking at the evidence that's presented online and the things that have been said. If there is negligence, it needs to be proven so that the hospital can take accountability for that amount or whatever percentage of the amount that is owed. Turning your back on a debt is not a way to deal with money. In no circumstance. It's always recommended that you face your debts head on. It is the responsible thing to do as an upright citizen. And it's also about recognizing that you dealt with a country with limited resources. And these finances are integral when it comes to the care of others that may come into the institution. Anyway, guys, that's all I'm going to say about that. And I do hope that Kaylan gets the help that she needs. I hope that things, manage to work out, because this surgery is still needed and the child is still a victim of circumstances. If you have made it this far into the video, don't forget to hit the like, share and subscribe button, and of course do not forget to click that bell if you're new to my channel so you're notified every time I drop a video. This is your girl, Head Teacher K, and I'm out. Bye.